The impossible landing. Oh my god, I fucking love flight stuff. Oh my god, let's watch this.
On July 19, 1989, United Airlines Flight 232 takes off from Denver, Colorado, heading towards Chicago. It's been nearly
such a short flight. What the
hours since departure, and the plane is now flying over Iowa with a sunny, clear sky and relatively no turbulence.
No turbulence.
By all accounts, it's a routine flight with 2 very experienced pilots and 1 flight engineer in the cockpit. The plane is on autopilot and is now doing a turn towards a heading of 95 degrees. But then, suddenly, with a violent jolt, everything
It's a Boeing
changes. The plane is a DC-10, and it is outfitted with 3 engines. 1 underneath each wing, and a 3rd at the base of the tail fin.
Nothing is more scary than looking outside the window of an airplane and seeing like things kind of falling apart in the flight. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not actually like surely they checked it and stuff. But there was this one time in a flight, I saw a panel like literally lifting and like kind of like a little bit like almost like about to fall off the plane. I was like, huh. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. Well, anyway, can't do anything now. We're in the sky. So I just like completely ignored it and pretended I didn't see that. Like genuinely, I just like literally closed my eyes and went back to bed. What can you do? You know what I mean? So I buckled I like tightened my shit. I just chose to be ignorant and I don't care. What can you do?
And towards the back of the plane. After hearing and feeling the explosive bang, flight engineer Dudley Dvorak reports that it is the rear engine that has failed. Co-pilot William Record takes control of the plane as Captain Alfred Haynes begins an engine shutdown checklist.
Oh.
Though it is alarming to lose an engine mid-flight, it isn't the worst-case scenario.
Oh, thank God.
The DC-10 is designed to still be able to fly even if only 2 engines are operational. And so, the crew is able to cut off power to the damaged engine and turn their attention to steadying the plane back out. But this is when they realize just how bad the situation actually is. Because even though the plane is able to continue flying, Co-pilot Records reports that none of the controls are working. Captain Haynes.
Yo, why is it? Dude, I swear to God, when something goes wrong, everything just goes wrong. It can't just be like a singular thing.
Attempts to manipulate the controls as well, and confirms that nothing seems to be functional.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
While the 2 pilots continue flying to see why the plane isn't responding to the controls, flight engineer Dvorak comes up with their answer. The plane has lost all hydraulic fluid. Hydraulic fluid is needed for nearly every control output on the plane. For example, in order to make a plane bank to the left, a pilot will turn the control column to the left, causing the left aileron to move up and the right aileron to move down. The hydraulic.
By the way, what the story I meant, I was like around like this area, so I saw it here, and I was like, I don't know if that's supposed to move.
Fluid is a pressurized liquid that allows these ailerons to move up and down once the control column is moved. If there's no fluid, there's no pressure that forces this movement, no matter how hard the control.
Demi, I would literally cry. Hey man, guys, sometimes you just gotta let it be. There's nothing you can do!
Column is turned left or right. Now, because hydraulic pressure is so vital to flying a plane, there are actually 3 separate hydraulic lines that run through a DC-10. These hydraulic systems are independent from one another, so that if one should fail, there are 2 others that can continue providing hydraulic power. There is no procedure to follow should all 3 fail, because
all 3 failed?
The likelihood of this happening was thought to be 1 in a billion, virtually impossible.
Did all 3 fail?
And with no hydraulic fluid left, the plane begins banking to the right. If this continues, the plane is in danger of fully rolling over, a situation that there's no recovering from. Flight 232 will crash. Thinking quickly, Captain Haynes realizes that even without hydraulic fluid, they still have at least one control that they can manipulate: the engine throttles. By decreasing the power to the left engine, Haynes is able to slowly level the plane back out.
Yo, he's a beast!
And with the immediate danger addressed, the crew can now turn their attention to the bigger issue. They have no way to fly this plane. Now, what the flight crew don't realize is that even though all three hydraulic lines run separately, there is one section in the back of the plane where they come within close proximity, near the rear engine. Later investigations will reveal that within the engine, a fan disc had been produced using metal that was not completely pure. And this manufacturing defect went unnoticed.
Whoa. Did they cut corners? No shot. Did they cheap out?
A crack began to form with each flight the aircraft took, until finally the disc couldn't hold anymore and broke apart within the engine. The resulting explosion severed the hydraulic lines to this rear engine, but it also sent shrapnel.
I don't understand these kinds of issues because isn't it cheaper just to never have a literal issue with people dying and you need to pay like fucking families and stuff like that, or losing an entire flight? Isn't it cheaper in the long run just to always fucking make sure that everything is completely correct? Or is cutting corners that much more saving cost? Like, is it genuinely like, does it save so much money that this flight is cheaper to lose?
Now flying all around the area, towards the same section where the other two hydraulic lines come close together, severing them as well.
Why pay extra for the 1 in a billion? Apparently it's not 1 of a fucking billion, because that is gonna like fucking crash no matter what. How much money do you want to bet that because of this issue they were like, oh, time to check every other plane and switch it out to the actual real one that we were supposed to put?
The result was all lines bleeding hydraulic fluid until they were empty, leaving the flight crew helpless. At this very moment, a flight attendant comes to the cockpit to get an update on the situation. She can immediately tell things aren't good, and this is confirmed when Haynes tells her to ready the cabin for an emergency landing. Once she returns and begins instructing the other flight attendants to follow suit, she is stopped by a passenger sitting near the back of first class.
Oh my god, what do you want?
He asks for information about what is going on, and he seems relatively calm given the situation. That is because he is no ordinary passenger. His name is Dennis Fitch, and he himself is a pilot. But not just any pilot. Fitch is actually a flight instructor for the DC-10.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What is the chance of that? What the fuck?
The very aircraft that they are on board. The flight attendant tells him that the rear engine is shut down and that the captain has reported that all hydraulics are lost. Fitch can't believe what he's hearing, as he knows this aircraft in and out and understands just how unlikely that could be.
They were wrong with their assumptions!
Yet, if it is true, he also knows that they are almost certainly doomed, because he has studied a previous flight that has had this exact same problem.
Wait. Yo, is this a movie? How the fuck? What the fuck? How the fuck?
Just 4 years before.
So it happened before? No way!
United Flight 232 departed on its fated flight. Japan Airlines Flight 123 takes off from Tokyo.
Japan! Oh my god, I go to Japan so much. Oh no.
En route to Osaka. It'll be a short flight, about 1 hour. But nonetheless, the journey will be made on a Boeing 747.
Guys, did you know in Japan, footsteps turn to electricity now?
These aircraft are known for their large size and are more typically used for long-distance flights. However, this particular 747 variant is one specifically requested by Japan Airlines in response to high demand for certain domestic routes, such as between Tokyo and Osaka. With this model, fuel capacity is reduced in exchange for strengthening the structure of the aircraft.
Fair enough,
to
okay.
accommodate more frequent takeoffs and landings.
Okay.
And because it will be used for shorter flights, the business class section is reduced and the economy section is increased,
Fair enough.
allowing for more seats overall.
But
No other airplane type had a higher capacity at the time, as this 747 SR carried a staggering 524
There's gonna be a but!
people on this flight. But what no one on board knows is
Hi,
that
Dad.
something is happening in the back of the plane. Just a few years prior, this particular 747 was involved in a hard landing that resulted in a tail strike. There were even some injuries, but no casualties, and the plane needed some serious repairs. Especially to
I personally wish this is the only thing I could I've been to a lot of accidents, but the one accident I just don't want to go through, even if it has no casualties, is airplanes. Because if I start having an issue with airplanes, it's so fucking over. You will never see me. I will never go out of the Philippines. I will stay in the Philippines. I will never leave. I can't deal with the idea of in my head. I just always think nothing will go wrong. The chances of it going wrong are just so low anyway. Who cares? But oh my god.
pressure bulkhead in the back of the plane. This is a curved wall that separates
Use
the
boats? I do not trust boats more than I do of planes, if I'm being honest. Boats are scary as fuck. The ocean is scary as fuck. Do you know how dark it is in the middle of the fucking night? Oh, fuck that. I would rather, to be honest with you, I would rather have the plane fuck up than a boat fuck up, because that's even more scarier, honestly. Because at least with the plane, I'm like, all right, this is it. You know what I mean? But dude, with a boat fucking up, all you'll see, the drowning, the screaming of the fucking waves. Oh my nah. I'd rather die from an airplane flight fucking up than a boat fucking up. Because this is so much scarier.
pressurized air in the cabin from non-pressurized air, acting as a seal. Now, half of this bulkhead was damaged during the tail strike, and so repairs were carried out. The lower half dome of this bulkhead was therefore replaced. But this
Bro,
So
you know there are hundreds of ferries in the Philippines. This is a country that has a massive history as a group of islands, Lamau.
Yeah, I don't mind that, because it's not gonna be guys, the joke was to go to the Philippines, to go back to the Philippines using a boat, not go to another island in the Philippines or some bullshit and use a boat. That's not the same. That's very much different. A boat in the Philippines is 30 minutes, fucking an hour at most. Going in the middle of the fucking ocean is scary as fuck.
This is where the fix wasn't done properly.
Guys, why did they not just replace the entire thing? Why the fuck did they half it and Yo!
But this is where the fix wasn't done properly. In the correct installation, a single splice plate is used to connect both.
Oh my god! Just replace the entire thing! Are you kidding me?
The upper and lower half of the bulkhead.
What?
This way, the loads are transmitted evenly across
That's not even! What are we talking about?
3 rows of rivets. But during the repair, instead of using one single sheet, the splice plate was cut into 2 parts. This is a big mistake. The top rivet is essentially not carrying any load, as it's not even
Bro, it's not even attached to anything. What was the point of this? Are they fucking for real? Are they even fucking for real? This is insane. How the fuck? No, they didn't even. This is cosmetic as fuck. What was the point of this?
connected to the lower bulkhead anymore. And so, with each flight after the repair, cracks began to form around this area. And every flight the plane took, pressurizing and depressurizing the cabin, the cracks grew worse and worse. It was only
In my opinion, we're smart enough as people to know that this would have happened.
the bulkhead couldn't hold.
Because in every single area, the only time I think it wasn't really the people's fault was like in Japan's like fucking nuclear disaster. Because like who would have thought that that fucking would happen, right? But like Chernobyl was made because of the accident of like cheaping out and stuff like that. Well, actually no, Japan had like issues. But like anyway, it was just so much everything of like airplane flights as well when it comes with issues. It's like literally them, or especially Boeing, wanting to cheap out. So we're very much smart enough to know what will work and what will not work. But hey man, let's risk it for the biscuit to save some fucking pennies. Like what? It makes no stress. It makes no sense to me. It genuinely doesn't.
More.
They're earning enough where it doesn't even fucking matter.
Only 12 minutes into Flight 123.
Wouldn't it be better for the company as well to have no flight record of like damage? Like, wouldn't it be technically better for the shareholders as well? Wouldn't stock be super like consistent as well as too? Planes will always crash due to pilot error. Yo, why do you think something went wrong in the beginning? Why do you think this went wrong in the beginning? It's not even the pilot's fault.
All 524 occupants feel an explosive decompression as the pressure bulkhead fractures. Pressurized air rushes into the space behind the bulkhead, an area not designed to handle the instantaneous pressure change. This causes more ruptures in the back of the plane, and the vertical tail fin blows off the aircraft.
If I felt an explosion while in a flight, I think I would just accept death. Honestly. Yo, if I heard an explosion happen, I don't even want to bother screaming. I'm just gonna hold whoever I'm with. I'm gonna hold their hand. I hold the other person next to me as well. And I'm just gonna prepare for death. Like the fuck?
The explosion is so sudden that everything takes place in less than half a second, and oxygen masks
You think
drop
that it's
as the
turbulence? No. Explosions don't feel like turbulence. I promise you that.
cabin becomes depressurized.
You can tell always.
The flight crew immediately calls out to the Tokyo Control Tower and requests authorization to return to the airport.
Okay, 1, 2, 3,
Oh, that's so scary. Oh my god.
Permission is granted, though now
Ever since became legal precedents to make your shareholders money, error that caused this have become inevitable because you can be sued for not making them enough money quick enough, essentially. What? Is this real? What? Been a reputation with no crashes takes way too long? What?
the crew realizes a problem.
Wow.
Because just like United Flight 232, all hydraulic lines have been severed in the
Feel bad
That's
for
crazy.
whatever gets mushed on the ground by that broken off chunk of plane.
Yo.
explosion caused by shrapnel flying out in the section where the lines come close together. The plane has become unflyable.
Uh-oh. Why did they start speaking English? Wait, what? Yo. That was so out of nowhere. Why did he just like start speaking English?
With no controls and
But they're in Japan. English is standard for air control. Wait, so if you're in like, let's say another country and you want to like learn how to like, you know, fly the thingy, and for international flights, you have to like learn English? Oh, wow. I did not know that.
now a missing tail fin, the plane begins dipping forward and back.
Also, domestic flights, you have to? I had no idea.
This is called phugoid motion.
I genuinely thought that they were just like... Actually, I never thought about that. Yo, I literally thought that there were just like stations in every single country, like, you know, working and speaking, and you know what I mean? I didn't know it was like just all English. That would make sense though. You know, now that I think about it, yeah, it makes sense.
Essentially, as the plane descends, it gains airspeed. But this additional speed causes lift, which makes the plane climb. With no control surfaces to correct this motion, the plane continuously rises
Oh my god,
and
that's so
dips
scary!
in a wave-like pattern. The flight crew realizes that the only control they still have left is engine thrust, and so they begin increasing and decreasing the plane's 4 engines in an attempt to steer back towards Tokyo. If they want to take a right turn, they increase power on the left engines and lower power on the
Both
right.
clutch incoming! Oh hell nah! Get these fucking Minecraft viewers away!
It is an extremely difficult process, but even still, the crew is able to make some progress in getting turned around to head back to Haneda Airport, and they are decreasing their altitude. But now, they have yet another problem looming ahead of them: the Japanese Alps.
Oh my god! I was about to say, like, maybe they're lucky and it's like a plain field. Yo! Hey, there's a mountain there. I know. Excuse me. I also have fucking eyes. Oh my god, dude. Guys, imagine the adrenaline hit though. Yo, like genuinely, this will be the most adrenaline peak that you'll ever feel in your life.
With little ability to control the plane, the crew do all they can to avoid the mountains. Ultimately, there's nothing that can be done.
No.
Bracing for impact, the plane crashes into a ridge just north of Mount Mikuni after nearly 30 minutes of flying an uncontrollable plane.
I have a question. Why couldn't they just like thrust the left, since they could like control the left one? Why didn't they just thrust this one and go in circles a while ago? No, I'm just curious. They were? Oh. Oh my god, yo, this, oh my god. Oh, they are doing it. Oh my Did anyone survive it?
Rescuers immediately dispatched to the area, but the situation is dire. The 747 crashed high in the mountains, far past the point any road or path would reach, and with the sun taking away the last bit of daylight, it is virtually impossible to land a helicopter near the crash site.
No.
After flying over the burning debris, rescuers believe it is impossible that anyone could have survived. Nearly 14 hours after the crash, with the rising sun, rescuers finally reach the crash site, and here they discover a miracle: movement. They find a woman alive.
I'm so sorry. This is so cooked of me, but the moment he said movement, I thought about the whole like, yo guys, I'm not seeing enough movement fucking joke, and that shit like fucked me up, and I felt so bad that I even thought about that, because like this is an in real life situation. I feel so bad.
Though severely injured. Now seeing there is hope, the search is energized and they find a child stuck in a tree. Searching more, they also find a mother and her daughter alive, trapped under debris. Though miraculous that 4 people have survived, it is coupled with the devastating realization.
Do you think that they were probably in the back of the plane, all of them, all 4? Or do you think that some person got lucky in the mid-flight, like in the middle, you know what I mean? Because usually, like, if there were to be a, you know, you always want to be in the back of the plane, right?
That all 520 other occupants of Flight 123 have perished.
Wow, they were in the back! Damn. Yeah, all 4 of them were in the backpack.
And even more tragic is that doctors would later determine that more could have survived if rescuers had reached the crash sites
No, it was just so unlucky timing.
sooner. And with so many casualties, this crash becomes the deadliest one involving a single plane in history, even until this day.
Holy fuck. And it's happening again? There's no way that this literally happened and then they're gonna repeat the same fucking mistake in another fucking flight. There's no way that many people lost their lives and they're gonna like literally, hey guys, we know that that happened before, but no, the reason why they're talking about this plane flight is because it's related to this flight that happened 4 years later.
Back on board United Flight 232, just 4 years later, flight instructor Danny Fitch is more aware of this than any other passenger. Knowing that the Japan Airlines flight faced the same issue of losing all hydraulics, Fitch decides to offer his assistance to the flight crew, help that Captain Haynes readily accepts.
Very low. Elevator hard. Roger. Hey, we'll have a beer records all night. Well, I don't drink.
Yo, I'm gonna pass the controller to your big bro. Oh my god.
Haynes explains to Fitch that they have been using differential engine thrust to fly until this point.
What's the hydraulic flash? No, zero. All over? Quality's gone. Yeah, all quality's gone.
W comms though.
And Captain Haynes instructs Fitch to take over so that he and co-pilot Records can focus on other potential methods to get the plane safely to the ground.
Tell me what you want, I'll help you. Right, code 1, put 2 up.
And so Fitch stands between the two pilots, a throttle in each hand, increasing and decreasing each based on visual cues and commands from Captain Haynes.
United 232 Heavy, understand, sir. You can only make right turns.
With over 400 miles left until they reach Chicago, the crew realizes that they will never make it. And with help from air traffic control, they locate a closer airport they can aim for, located in Sioux City, less than 100 miles away.
No
I
way.
have serious doubts about making the airport.
No
Got,
way.
Someplace
He looks
near
like
there,
here under 23
that we might
months.
be able to ditch. Unless you get control of this airplane, we're going to put it down wherever it happens to be.
And he instructs the flight attendants to prepare everyone for
Seriously,
a hard
they got 9
crash
months.
landing.
We're going to try and put it into Sioux City, Iowa. It's going to be tough.
Come on.
Demulif.
Brakes. The brakes will be the signal. It'll be over the PA system. Brakes. Good luck, sweetheart.
Aw, they're so the fact that they're dealing with this and they're still like being so calm. I know that they're professionals and all, but the fact that they're cracking jokes and stuff to make it like more lighthearted and to put like, you know, the mood up, sheeshers, it's crazy.
Back in the cabin, the flight attendants
Okay, orchestra?
begin instructing passengers on the positions to maintain when it's time to brace for impact.
Low
And
cortisol
as they
gaming.
look around, they are hit with the startling realization of just how many children are on board. As luck would have it, today is Children's Day, a promotion from United where
Yikes! Oh my god. Yo! This is insane.
children can fly for only a penny. There are 52 minors on Flight 232, and many of them are traveling alone.
No! Oh my god! I'm actually gonna cry. I'm very like emotional right now. My meds are off. Yo, I feel so bad for them. Yo, I feel so bad for them.
The flight attendants ask for help from several adult passengers, and everyone cooperates to make sure that no child is sitting by themselves. Next, they turn to the 4 children who were young enough to travel without a seat, those under 2 years old. The crew has no choice but to continue following procedure and have their parents place their children on the floor in front of them and surround the children with pillows and hope for the best.
United 232 Heavy, you're going to have to widen out just slightly to your
That's
left,
so
sir, to make the turn to final, and also I'll take you away from the city. Whatever you do, keep us away from the city.
Back in the car,
Yo, I need to quit this med so bad. I'm so emotional recently. I literally cried a while ago from fucking, I forgot the name again. The do. Yo, it wasn't even a sad clip too. Like it was just sweet, and I started like fucking crying. Yo, I can't. It's just so sad. Look, like they're fucking kids, and they're all alone, and a flight is fucking like ramping down. Fuck.
Cockpit, the flight crew is steadily making way towards Sioux City. But the plane keeps pulling to the right. And so,
I'm not
deciding it would be
pregnant.
best not to fight it, they corkscrewed their way forward, with help from ATC providing directions and heading information. They also begin dumping as much fuel as they can, trying to decrease their weight before landing. And after 2 right-hand
Guys, I'm just extra emotional because I've been on my period for 8 days, okay? So be nice to me.
circles, it's time to do their first left turn in order to line up with the airport. But even after completing that turn, the plane still keeps drifting to the right, off the path towards the airport. And so, rather than keep fighting it, the crew decides to do another right-hand loop to get back on track.
United 232 Heavy, roger. The airport's currently at your...
See,
1
that's
o'clock.
literally, okay, that's literally what I was talking about during the Japan thingy. Why didn't they just keep on looping?
Position 10 miles.
Oh my god, there it is!
Heavy, if you can't make the airport, sir, there is an interstate.
I meant
that runs,
earlier before the
north
airport,
to south
the
to east side of
mountains.
The airport, it's a 4-lane interstate. We're just
Before the mountains, they were like literally like, when the crash or when the explosion happened, they were over the sea. Why didn't they do it during when they were the sea and not when the mountains were there yet?
Finally, about 9 miles out of Sioux City, the pilots make visual contact with the airport. They've managed to make it this far, but now they have the worst yet to come as they still need to land. One other problem is that without the hydraulics, the flaps, which allow the aircraft to fly at much slower speeds for takeoff and landing, cannot be extended. They are, however, able to manually lower the landing gear, letting gravity do the work of locking the wheels in place. And the extra drag from the landing gear helps reduce their speed a bit. But
Let's
not by
go!
much, as they are still going more than double the speed of a typical landing.
Oh.
The entire airport lays open before them, with every runway available. Sioux City Airport has 3 runways, but only 2 of them were active at the time, as runway 22 had been closed permanently a year earlier. The crew hopes to use runway 31.
How?
Therefore, the closed runway 22 is used by
For the
emergency
chocolate
responders
fun.
to set up and prepare themselves to assist for what they know will be a bad landing. But just 2 minutes before touchdown, Captain Haynes realizes that they aren't lined up at all for runway 31, and they don't have time to make corrections. But as luck would have it, they are lined up almost perfectly with runway 22.
Yes!
United 232 Heavy, the wind's currently 360 at 11, 360 at 11. You're cleared to land on any runway.
It's fine. At least it's like,
Make it a runway, huh? 010 at 11, and there is a runway that's closed, sir, that could probably work too. The south, it runs northeast to southwest. Pretty well lined up on this one, or I think we will be.
Immediately, responders rush to clear the closed runway and make way for the plane.
come
That's
on.
a closed runway. That'll work, sir. We're getting the equipment off the runway, and they'll line up for that one. How long is it? At the end of the runway, it's just a wide open field, sir, so the length won't be a problem.
And with nothing left they can do, everyone straps in, and Captain Haynes calls out to the passengers to brace themselves.
Plane of 19, he's coming down real fast down the south end. Okay, all right, stand by. There, he's on fire. He's down.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, despite the crew's best efforts, the uncontrollable plane finally gets the best of them. Just above the ground, the plane dips sharply to the right, and the right wing strikes the ground. The plane immediately begins breaking apart and ignites in a fireball as the wreckage continues skidding down the runway and into nearby cornfields. Emergency responders rush to the scene, and everyone fears it'll be just like Japan Airlines all over again. And yet, as they approach, passengers begin streaming out of the wreckage.
Wait!
Responders begin evacuating and attending to any survivors they can find. And survivors themselves also assist each other. One man escapes the burning wreckage only to hear a baby crying from somewhere in the plane. Risking his own life, he goes back in and finds a baby which somehow during the impact became trapped in an overhead bin.
How the fuck did the baby go to the overhead bin? I'm sorry. Wait. Whoa. What the fuck?
He is able to escape with the child, reuniting her back with her mother.
What?
And outside, responders also attempt to locate the cockpit, which broke apart during the impact. It takes them 40 minutes, but finally they discover its broken and charred remains.
Is the pilot okay?
After seeing flight engineer Drojak waving his arms from the wreckage. Captain Haynes, co-pilot Records, flight engineer Drojak, and flight instructor Fitch are all alive, though in critical condition. They are freed from the wreckage and join the other survivors who are now being raced to the nearby trauma center. By the end of the rescue efforts, it's a bitter moment. 113 people perished after the crash, including 11 children.
Aww.
It is a situation that no one should have walked away from, a crash that seemed impossible to survive. And yet, 183 people made it. A combination of skill from the crew, good communication, and a little bit of luck meant that more than half of Flight 232 lived to see another day. Now, both these crashes unfolded under completely different circumstances. The United flight lost its hydraulics over one of the flattest parts of the United States, while Japan Airlines found itself over mountainous terrain. They were flying different aircraft with vastly different mass and control characteristics. And crucially, Japan Airlines had lost its vertical stabilizer, a failure that made a controlled landing physically impossible. And the fact that the crew managed to keep the aircraft in the air for over half an hour is nothing short of extraordinary. But what these two incidents do have in common is that they reveal just how catastrophic the loss of all hydraulics can be. And they also
I need my pills so bad, dude. I can't control my emotions at all anymore. It's so bad.
have something else in common. To this day, both incidents are regarded as some of the most remarkable examples of pilot skill. United 232 is often cited as one of the clearest examples of crew resource management in action. A captain, first officer, flight engineer, and even—
They were so fucking lucky. I don't know what the hell happened where this guy was like in this specific flight, but that is insane.
a training captain, all working together, sharing control inputs, and communicating constantly.
Oh, shit. It's because the sponsor fucking
In
thing
fact,
happened.
the culture that made that kind of collaboration possible was born out of tragedy. One famous example of bad communication leading to tragedy is the Tenerife disaster in 1977, when two 747s filled with passengers collided almost head-on on the runway. The absolute worst-case scenario.
Oh, what the f***?
Is hij er niet afgekomen? Is hij er niet af? Pan American?
And to understand how this happened, I created a full-length video detailing the exact radio exchanges and mapping out the chain of events that led to the collision.
That's why this got sponsored. This is a whole sponsor segment.
This video is part of an entire series of videos I created called Underexposure.
The Twin Towers, the Bin Laden raid. Oh my god. Oh my god.
In this series, I created in-depth documentaries about high-stakes events that reshaped our world.
W content though, like yo, I didn't mean it like that, but like genuinely W video. That was a really insane watch. Good visuals, everything was like insane.